Okay, so that'll do. So, tonight I wanted to talk about something big. This is in response to Tai Lopez's last video about the three most important things, I guess his New Year's resolution, the three most important things to do in 2016, which, in summation, are sleep more. He talks about napping 18 minutes a day. The biggest thing for me is sleep more. I think if I got an 8 hours sleep every night, I wouldn't need the nap, but napping is a good idea. The biggest thing for me and the biggest place where I lose sleep is staying up late, doing nothing productive. The second thing is reading, which I want to read. He says a book a week, definitely doable. Either listening to and or reading a book a week. I think it's a great idea. And the third thing is lifting weights. And so this video tonight is kind of in response to that. I guess it's going to be my natural response to that because my initial response is, no, I don't have time for that. I really wish I could do that. But the more and more I'm thinking about it, those are the three first steps to me getting in a smaller picture what I want to happen in my life. But as a bigger part, I think scheduling and getting the scheduling down to a point where it's so tight. Well, I guess scheduling around a tight schedule is the biggest thing. It's about finding the minutes and hours and blocks of time or creating the blocks of time for your schedule. So that is kind of what I'd like to do today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over here to a screen capture where you can see me capturing this video through Ableton, which Ableton is kind of the software I use to do all of my music production. So for those of you who don't know, really this is just a way to visualize, because I consider doing it in Google, but I feel like there's a lot of other things going on and I don't want to give up my personal information. But at the same time, drawing out or writing out or journaling out a schedule works really well. But to be able to play with it, it's important to be in an environment where you can kind of move things around. So while some of this might be something that everyone doesn't understand, is definitely something that anyone can download the demo of Ableton and do what I'm going to do. I'm really just blocking out ideas. So I am going to flip over to a screen capture now. That way I can kind of show you how I'm going to block out my next week, or probably even starting tomorrow, how my schedule is going to work moving forward and moving on for the next little while. So it should be fun, and we'll see what happens. So join me on screen. Okay. So here is Ableton, and here's my schedule for the next couple of days blocked out. I did a lot of the tedious work of times and stuff, but let me kind of break down why this visualization is important and at least why it helps me, especially looking at the next couple of days. Now, I most of the time will do this in a notebook or even in Google Calendar or something, but this time I wanted to do it in Ableton. It's just a different way. I feel like changing things up kind of always gives you a different perspective. And of course, this isn't necessarily the easiest way to visualize a schedule. This is not what Ableton is built for, but it's totally possible to do it like this. So as you can see, I've got days going left to right, and I've got the times here. Now what I've done is the yellow times are during the day, so 6 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. This is kind of the hours, the prime hours of getting stuff done. Not to say that you can be productive for this many hours in a day, but that is the time that is done. Now, this is ideally the kind of sleep I would like to get, or at least even better than this at some point. I mean, maybe even go to bed earlier these nights. But basically, to Ty's point, I think what I want to do is take advantage of hours in the day to get things done that are important to me, that aren't that super time consuming, so that I can be closer to living the life I want to live, right? So here's how this is going to help me. The first thing I'm seeing here is that achieving waking up at 6 has been a struggle. And right here, right now, on this vlog, on this announcement, I'm making a commitment to myself and making a commitment to you guys that I will wake up at 6 to get things done, to vlog more, to make beats more, to make things productive so that I can change my life. Because the thing I thought was eating up most of my time is these big chunks of time here, which it is, but it's also providing for my family in a way that nothing else can right now, or that nothing else is right now. So the other thing that about this that I'm not taking advantage of is this nice little block of time in the middle of my work called a lunch break that I spend watching dumb videos and wasting my time. Now, some of this is good, or some of this can be better utilized, but here's the big thing for me. If I open up a chunk of time like this, and all of a sudden I get an hour back every day, or even half an hour back every day to read, or to blog, meaning write a blog more, or even just to produce beats, organize my music library, anything else. Half an hour a day is enough to get anything else done. That way I can add in those extra things, because lifting weights, a workout for me, even when I was working out and like quickly increasing my body mass and quickly increasing the weights I was lifting, I was not working out for more than 20 to 30 minutes a day, and it wasn't more than 2-3 days a week at most. So the big thing is when you're talking about lifting weights, that seems like the thing that you need to focus on. Great. Then I'll figure out time to do the other things that I'm doing in the day here during my lunch break, and then reserve some extra time outside of that for waking up. The other thing that I think is important that I have been doing, and I'm kind of really proud of myself for doing this, not to toot my own horn, as the phrase goes, but I've been making a lot of really good use of travel time in the incredibly shaky iPhone handheld video vlogs, which to me have been super helpful. And I do them for me. I don't necessarily do them. I just think it's important to share my ideas, and important to start conversations, and important to get stuff out there, because I really want to do this for real. I think it's the biggest thing. Ill Gates said this when he teaches his ill methodology, is if you write down, I am a music producer, not just to yourself in a journal, not in a place where you can shut it away and you can be a secret music producer, but out loud in front of people, I can be a music producer. Not I can, but I am. You're making a commitment. And I think that's part of what I'm doing here. So I'm making a commitment to take this seriously and to get this done. So I'm making good use of this time here, making good use of this time here, making good use of here. And so the big thing is to fit in reading shouldn't take that long. Half an hour before I go to bed each night should be super duper easy to just, brush my teeth, sit down, read for 15 minutes or whatever. I can even listen to books on my way home, because usually that's not when I blog, because it's dark, so you can't see my face. But also, I think it would be really easy to fit in reading somewhere. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to commit to, let's go ahead and do something here, right? So that purple one is travel time. Oops, hold on, I'll copy that. So let's see, this is travel. So now this, I'm going to make this reading, right? And so I'm going to color the ones that are new. Well, let's see, I'm going to make reading green, because I think that's really important, right? So before I go to bed each night, I'm going to read. And the other thing that I'm seeing here that's really important is I feel like when I get home on a late night, I end up farting around for a long time and not doing anything productive, but staying up and preventing myself from sleeping. Whereas I can see, this is only 7 hours of sleep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hours of sleep. And I guess starting from this night it's 8, but then this night is 7. But if I take advantage of getting home, finding a way to settle and journal and read, and then sleep, I can take advantage. I can then get up again at 6 and make use of this hour. And the whole reason why this hour is important, and I don't know if I made this strictly clear, is this is when my kids wake up. So this can be my hour of productivity. And again, this is, I'm just kind of looking at, I guess I could kind of like code these as times I'm adding to my schedule to get stuff done, right? And so this is really, I'm trying to figure out where I can gain back time here out of a schedule where I thought I didn't have any time, or I wasn't getting as much done as I wanted to, right? The other cool thing about this that I think is neat is that, okay, my kids wake up at 7, so from 7 to, 10:30, I can devote to, or 7 to 11, I guess that is, I can devote to family time. So That's super important to me. To be able to have time for my kids, to be able to sit down and be able to do stuff with my family, that's incredibly important. And so I want to make time for that, but there's not something I necessarily have to block schedule out. The things I'm wanting to block schedule are getting stuff done. And so again, I think here is another important thing. I can make this my hour, right? And I guess I'll also delete that there because that doesn't need to be there, right? So now all of a sudden, if we just look at this, I've gained back, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours in 5 days to do whatever it is I want. And that's not even 7 hours, it's close to 10 hours getting stuff done and being productive that I have just been wasting, right? Oh, see, and so this to me is just empowering in a busy schedule. It's not like I'm not doing anything these days. These days I'm doing laundry and dishes and shopping, being with my family, being with my wife. And, this time is time that I usually devote to them. This time I usually devote to just being a husband and a father. And I really like that. And occasionally I'll get a chunk of time in an afternoon like this to get stuff done in the studio. But I think the most important thing for me is to be able to make progress at least once a day, and to be able to devote time for me at least once a day, meaning I'm going to get my workout in, meaning I'm going to really make things happen in a big way. This is what's going to be important. Okay, well, hey, thanks for watching this visualization, this calendar visualization, scheduling visualization. Really, this is kind of just a call to action for me to say, listen, I can get things done, and here's the time I can get them done. And again, thank you to Tai Lopez. For those of you who haven't seen or heard of Tai Lopez or are skeptical about him at all, I've only taken his 67 steps, but fantastic. He's a fantastic resource, whether you just watch his free videos or you do pay the $67 to get into his program. It's super worth it. Even just for the amount of content, I would say that can take a place of reading books for a month or 2 months, because it is 2 months. In fact, I was just thinking about this today. I'm going to go back and re-listen to a lot of that material, because, God, was it powerful at the time, and I feel like I've kind of lost it a little bit in being so exhausted and shocked from doing the work thing. But now that things are settling, post-retail holiday, I can kind of chill out. So anyway, thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.